Hello everyone and welcome back to the Perfect French with Dylan. Today is the first lesson of the vocabulary course. We are going to learn everything about le genre et le pluriel des noms, so gender and plural of noun, and adjectives as well. This is a review of the French grammar course with different examples, that's important to say. When I chose different examples. It was not always possible because sometimes there's just not that many. Because in this course there's so many nouns, it was very important to learn the difference between feminine, masculine, plural. If you already know it, I'm sure it will be a great review for you anyways. Very quickly about the book. The book is available on Amazon as a paperback and an ebook and as a PDF on my website. The videos are, as usual with all my courses, free to watch here on YouTube. We are going to have 3 video lessons a week for the next 8 weeks. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any. Like the other courses, we are following the book for the chapter, the pages, and the exercises. Today we are going to be, of course, on chapter 1, page 5 to 19, exercises 1.1 to 1.11, which are all the exercises in chapter 1. I'm also going to have at the bottom the pages and the exercises for each topic that we are seeing at that moment. This video has chapters, so if you want to go from one to the other, well, you can. Or you can just watch the whole video, like this video as well, to help me. Last thing, this vocabulary course is made out of lists. Lists for all the different subjects for everyday life. Because of that, the exercises are very, very important. So if you have the book, make sure you do the exercise and that you practice on your own as well. So let's start. Like I said just before, there are many nouns in this course and just in real life. The more nouns you know, the better you will be able to express yourself. And just like in English, noun can be about everything. It can be an object, une table, a person, une femme, an animal, un chat, or a place. Une rue. As you see and as I hope you already know or remember from the last courses, everything in French is either masculine or feminine. We do not have a neutral. In the book you have all the abbreviations after each word, if it's a verb, if it's a noun, if it's an adjective, etc. I'm probably not going to mark all of them in the videos when it's obvious. For example, everything starting with une is feminine noun, everything started with un is masculine noun. But if it's des, for example, which is impossible to tell if it's a feminine noun or masculine noun, or L apostrophe, I will specify if it's a feminine noun or a masculine noun. I hope I won't forget any. Just remember that neutral does not exist in French. There is no neutral. Nope. Which brings us to the next chapter already, which is the obvious gender. The obvious gender is mostly about people, obviously. So when you have a man or woman, well, we know the gender. I should probably mention that I only speak here about grammar. I totally respect different pronouns and different gender for people. Just teaching about grammar, okay? So for example, we have un garçon, which is a masculine. Une fille, féminine. Un homme, masculine. Une femme, féminine. Un oncle, masculine, une tante, féminine. Un grand-père, masculine, une grand-mère, féminine. Once again, as you can see, everything masculine starts with un, and everything feminine starts with une. The plural of those two will be des, and then I will give you the gender for those. I get asked all the time, how can I know if it's feminine or if it's masculine for other things that people... Which brings us to the 90% rule, which doesn't work all the time. Obviously, 90%, I mean, it speaks by itself. But when you start, you can use the 90% rule. And sometimes I call it the 90% rule, sometimes I call it the 80% rule. It just changes depending on my mood. So here we are. 90% rule today. Basically, everything that ends with a is most likely going to be feminine. Everything that ends with another letter is most likely going to be masculine. Like I said, it doesn't work that well, and the word that we use all the time, I also just kind of the opposite. So it's a good rule of thumb, but don't use it too much. Let's see. Une enveloppe, une lettre, une tasse. 3 of them are feminine and they all end with a. Un pot, un couteau, un cactus. Un pot, un couteau, un cactus. If everything was like that, it would be very easy. Unfortunately, like I said, this is not 100% rule. So when you study vocabulary, always study with the article in front, un ou une. But we also have other ways to tell if a noun is masculine or feminine. We can recognize them by their endings. I'm going to cover it very quickly. We already covered it in the grammar course. Once again, those are other examples. So even if you follow the grammar course, this one is still good to watch. We will come back on this at the end of the course when we see prefix and suffix. So how the beginning or the end of a word in French can influence its meaning. It's just like in English, there's nothing crazy. It's if you say to do and then to undo, well, this is the same. So this is coming, I believe, chapter 21, 22, I think. Something like that. But don't have to chat. All the nouns ending with those endings are most likely going to be masculine because it's not 100% again. So if we look at acle, we have un obstacle, un miracle, un oracle. Un obstacle, un miracle, un oracle. Masculine. Then we have âge, un otage, un nuage, un potage. Un otage, un nuage, un potage. The next one is al, A-L. Un rival, un bocal, un tribunal. Un rival, un bocal, un tribunal. E-A-U, most of them are also masculine. Un veau, un poteau, un jumeau. Un veau, un poteau, un jumeau. E-U as well. Un jeu, un pneu, un feu. Un jeu, un pneu, un feu. Can you pronounce pneu, pneu, un pneu, un feu? E-T, masculine as well. Pronounced E. Un gilet, un sujet, un galet. Un gilet, un sujet, un galet. I-E-R, pronounce I-E, rolling I, I-E. Un cerisier, un papier, un métier. Un cerisier, un papier, un métier. I-N, pronounced un. Un brin, un sapin, un chemin. Un brin, un sapin, un chemin. Ism, also masculine. We don't have that many, and they're very close to the English one usually. We have le minimalisme, le romantisme. Le minimalisme, le romantisme. M-E-N-T, ment. More common than ism. We have un moment, un élément, un document. Un moment, un élément, un document. War, war, Un tiroir, un miroir, un couloir. Un tiroir, un miroir, un couloir. O-U pronounce ou. Un chou, un genou, un verrou. Un chou, un genou, un verrou. The last one for the masculine endings, we have on, on pronounced on. Un ballon, un glaçon, un flocon. Un ballon, un glaçon, un flocon. So that was for the endings, for the masculine noun. Now we have also some topics, specific topics that are going to be either masculine or feminine, and most of them are actually masculine. So yeah, so the days of the week are masculine. We have le lundi, le mardi, le mercredi. Le lundi, le mardi, le mercredi. I missed my finger, did you see that? Seasons are always masculine. un été, un hiver, un printemps, un automne. Un été, un hiver, un printemps, un automne. Languages always masculine. L'allemand, l'italien, l'espagnol. L'allemand, l'italien, l'espagnol. Weight and metrics always masculine as well. Un kilomètre, un litre, un gramme. Un kilomètre, un litre, un gramme. The last topic we have, which is also always masculine, is English words used in French. We have quite many, we have a lot actually. I choose the most relevant one for one of the last chapters of this course. So we'll see them as well. Until then, here are three. Un meeting, le marketing, un hot dog. Un meeting, le marketing, un hot dog. That was for the masculine. Now let's see the feminine. Some specific ending are most of the time feminine. Anything ending in ade, ad. Une salade, une tornade. Une salade, une tornade. Al. Al with a E, not al with only AL. Al with the E. Une spirale, une chorale, une finale. Une spirale, une chorale, une finale. Anse, une chance, une lance, une balance. Une chance, une lance, une balance. Pronounce the same way. Anse, une référence, une conséquence, une urgence. Une référence, une conséquence, une urgence. Et, féminine. Une dette, une miette, une tirette. Une dette, une miette, une tirette. IE, most likely feminine as well. Une copie, une hernie, une bougie. Une copie, une hernie, une bougie. Brique, féminine. Une brique, une manique, une crique. Une brique, une manique, une crique. Then we have oire, la mémoire, une armoire, une mâchoire. La mémoire, une armoire, une mâchoire. S-I-O-N pronounce sion, also féminine. Une pension, la fusion, une occasion. Une pension, la fusion, une occasion. T-N-T-A are also most likely feminine. La bonté, la saleté, une moitié. La bonté, la saleté, une moitié. Pronounced sion again, but this time with a T, most likely feminine as well. And those are very close to the English one. Une option, une action, une émotion. Une option, une action, une émotion. Finally, we have ur. La nature, une rayure, une voiture. La nature, une rayure, une voiture. So that was for the first few points about feminine and masculine. You can do the exercise 1.1 already. Now we are going to see masculine and feminine for professions and people. When the profession and people ends with a and only one with t, I will show you which one, they don't change. Only the article in front is going to change. It's the case for example, un dentiste, une dentiste. Un collègue, une collègue. Un élève, une élève, and then the last one with a T, un enfant, une enfant. So for none of them the spelling change or the pronunciation changes, it's only the article in front. These are very easy. Then we have anything ending with E or I is going to take an additional E when feminine. Un marié, une mariée. Un ami, une amie. Un associé, une associée. Then we add the E after consonants. For example, when we have a T, un avocat, une avocate, un adolescent, une adolescente, and then we have un client, une cliente. Same for when it's a N. We have un cousin, une cousine, un voisin, une voisine, un africain, une africaine. Here the pronunciation changes because the E give its power to the N before, do you remember? So here the sound changes. So we had un, and then after that we have in, and en. Very different. If you never followed me before, you must be like, what is she talking about? When there's a S at the end, we add E as well. Un Polonais, une Polonaise. Un Islandais, une Islandaise. So the E, give its power to the S, so we pronounce the S, okay? Sometimes adding only E is not enough, obviously, it's French, would be too easy. Sometimes other things are going to change, such as the accent. Anything ending in ER will become ERE with an accent grave. We have un banquier, une banquière, un étranger, une étrangère. EUR is going to become EUSE. EUR only, not TEUR. We're going to see this one after. Un chanteur, une chanteuse, un maquilleur, une maquilleuse. IEN will become IENNE. Un magicien, une magicienne. Un Algérien, une Algérienne. ON will become ONNE. Un patron, une patronne. Un espion, une espionne. Told you we'll see this one. TEUR, teur, will become trice. So it's not EUR, it's TEUR. Un animateur, une animatrice. Un créateur, une créatrice. And then we have X becoming SE. Un époux, une épouse. This one there's only one. Exercise 1.2. In French countries also have genders. This one is a little bit easier because most of them ending in E are going to be feminine, beside Mexique. We're going to see 5 or 6. We will see more on chapter 5 with countries, nationalities, and languages. L'Allemagne, féminin. L'Angleterre, féminin. Le Canada, masculin. La Chine, féminin. L'Espagne, féminin. Les États-Unis, masculine plural. But we'll see more chapter 5. We also have a few nouns that are not going to change depending on the person. It doesn't matter if the person is a man or woman, those nouns are going to keep their gender no matter what. We have un bébé masculin, féminin. Un mannequin, une connaissance, une star, une vedette, une victime. So for all those, no matter the gender, we are going to use the gender of the word. Now let's see the plural of nouns. That's a tiny bit more complicated for some points, but nothing that you can't understand. So anything ending in E is going to take a S when plural. But this one is easy. Une page, des pages. Un verre, des verres. Un livre, des livres. It's also good to remember that the plural is usually not pronounced in French unless it's one of the 4 irregular. That's it. Exercise 1.3. When a noun ends with S, Z, or X, it's not going to change. Let's see 2 for each. So we have un bras, des bras, un corps, des corps. So basically we are not going to have 2 S at the end. We don't do that in French. Beside the word stress, that's the only one. Le stress. Then we have une croix, des croix, un choix, des choix, and then we have un nez, des nez. Only one for this one. Words ending in EAU, AU, and EX are going to take an X at the end. Let's see 2 for each as well. We have un oiseau, des oiseaux, un morceau, des morceaux. Once again, plural is not pronounced. Un noyau, des noyaux, un tuyau, des tuyaux. And for EU, we have un cheveu, des cheveux, un neveu, des neveux. Of course, there are many exceptions. Nouns ending in OU are always a little bit more tricky because the regular plural will take an S at the end. And the irregular will take an X at the end. However, the one that we use the most are actually the one ending with X. So it's your language journey, you're the one learning. If you want to remember the one with X as being the regular one, the one with S, the irregular one. It's really up to you. Don't forget that you are the one remembering it, so remember it the way it works for you. So some of the ones taking a S are going to be un bisou, des bisous, un clou, des clous. And then the irregular one taking an X are un bijou, des bijoux, un caillou, des cailloux, un chou, des choux, un genou, des genoux, un hibou, des hiboux, un joujou, des joujoux, un pou, des poux. You can remember it this way if you want. Viens mon chou, which is an affectionate way to call someone in French. Viens mon chou, so come here my cabbage. Mon bijou, mon joujou sur mes genoux, et jette des cailloux à ce hibou plein de poux. Okay? That's something that we learn at school actually to remember them. When you are ready, exercise 1.5. For the next one, we have AL becoming AUX. The exceptions are going to take an S. Let's see four. Un animal, des animaux. Un bocal, des bocaux. Un canal, des canaux. Un cristal, des cristaux. So that's for the regular ones. For the one ending in AL only taking a S, the exceptions, it's all about festivities. We have un bal, des bals, un carnaval, des carnavals, un festival, des festivals, un récital, des récitals. It's easy to remember when you think about festivities. The next one is the other way around. Anything ending in AIL will take an S, and the irregular will become AUX. I know, I didn't make the language, I'm just teaching it. So we have un chandail, des chandails, un détail, des détails. For the irregular one, un bail, des baux, un corail, des coraux. I know, all that is confusing, but don't forget that if you do the exercises, you will remember them better and faster. Exercise 1.6. I go a little bit faster in this one. I gave all the information in the grammar course, so this is really a review. For the noun ending in ON, AN, IN, and UM, we are only going to add S. So we have une façon, des façons, un océan, des océans, un requin, des requins, un parfum, des parfums. Then we have, of course, the irregular plural. I said 4 earlier, it's actually 5. We have 3 irregular, and then we have 2 irregular only for the pronunciation. So we have un œil, des yeux, madame, mesdames, monsieur, messieurs. That's for the fully irregular. Now we also have un œuf, des œufs, so the spelling is the same, but the pronunciation is different. Un œuf, des œufs, un bœuf, des bœufs. When you're ready, you can do the exercise 1.7. Some nouns are always plural. That's the case for les vacances, les mathématiques, les lunettes, les gens, les ciseaux. Other nouns are singular, but they refer to a lot of people. We have le public, la foule, la famille, le groupe. So that was for the nouns. For the adjective are very similar to the nouns in gender and number. It's just that for the adjective we are going to have the 4 of them. We are going to have masculine singular, feminine singular, masculine plural, and feminine plural. So we are going to have 4 of them. But they are very similar to the nouns. Trust me. Anything ending in E will not change between masculine and feminine, but it will take an S when plural. So we have, for example, funny, drôle, 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 and drôle. They are all pronounced the same way. You have a lot in the book. I'm not going to give them all, but you have more in the book. Anything ending in E, I, and U will add a E for the feminine and a S for the plural. If we see tired, we have fatigué, 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 fatigué. Once again, the pronunciation doesn't change. Anything ending in T, D, and then S is going to change for the pronunciation. So we are going to add a E when it's feminine and S when it's masculine. So if we see fort, we have fort, forte, fort, forte. Hot, we have chaud, chaude, chaud, chaude. We see full, we have plein, pleine, plein, pleine. And finally, with a S, we have bad, it's mauvais, mauvaise, mauvais, no double S, mauvaise. The one in EUX are going to become EUSE, and then S, if the plural. If we look at cloudy, we have nuageux, nuageuse, nuageux, nuageuse. You can do the exercise 1.8. For the next one, we have anything ending in F. It can be EF or EUF, will become VE. So IVE, EUVE. Let's see one for each. Actif, active, actif, active. Neuf, we have neuf, neuve, neuf, neuve. Okay? Anything ending in ER will become ER with accent grave. We have proud, we have fier, 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 fier. The pronunciation is exactly the same for all of them. This is a very specific word in French. If we look at entier, it's going to be different. We have entier, entière, entier, entière. So here the pronunciation change if it's masculine or if it's feminine. Anything in AL will take only a E when feminine, but it will become AUX when masculine, plural. For special, we have spécial, spécial, spéciaux, spécial. Then we have the double consonants, so we are going to double the consonant and add the E for the feminine. For the masculine, it stay the same, masculine plural stay the same, feminine plural double the consonant. Bon, bonne, bon, bonne. For big, we have gros, grosse, gros, grosse. And for the same, we have pareil, 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 pareil. The pronunciation doesn't change for the last one. When you feel comfortable with the subject, you can do exercise 1.9. Some adjectives are, of course, irregular. We have one more point to see about that. And then we have very specific adjective to see very quickly as well. So 2 more points and you're free to go for today. Some of them, like I said, are fully irregular, and most likely the feminine part is going to be the most irregular of them. Let's see 4. For beautiful, we have beau, belle, beau with an X, and belle. For soft, doux, douce, doux, douce. For fresh, we have frais, fraîche, frais, fraîche. For old, we have vieux, vieille, vieux, vieille. And we are already at exercise 1.10. We have just one last thing to see for adjectives. We have 3 adjectives that are going to have a 5th form. They are going to have a 5th form when they are followed by a masculine noun starting with a vowel or a silent H. They are nouveau, vieux, and belle. Let's see them. For nouveau, we have nouveau, nouvelle, and then the other form is nouvelle without L at the end. And then we go back to nouveau and nouvelle for the plural. For old, we have vieux, vieille, vieille, vieux, and vieille. For beautiful, we have beau, belle, belle with a L, with one L, beau, and belle. You have a very quick exercise to finish this lesson. It's 3 little sentences where you have to place one of these. Exercise 1.11. I hope it was not too long. I believe this lesson is going to be something like 30 minutes long. I hope it was not too long. I really thought it was necessary to give you a quick review of everything before starting the course, as we are going to see nouns and adjectives and everything, but I'm not going to go back on the rules of why this one ends with a X when it's plural, etc, etc. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in 2 days on Friday for lesson number 2. It's going to be about people, les personnes. I will see you on Friday. À vendredi.